Hey there, Tenno. It's Shadow Scythe, and this is going to be similar to In the Know, except we're not doing a post-dev stream discussion. Instead, this is post Warframe's PAX East panel. Unfortunately, there was a mix-up with the rooms, and they were put in one where they could not stream on Twitch. So, unfortunately, those of you who wanted to see that, it just couldn't happen. However, if you were following DE Steve, or even it was either Rebecca or the Play Warframe Twitch, or not Twitch, Twitter, my bad, that had posted it, and they had actually did their best to carry out the stream using Steve's Periscope.tv is what they had used. Now, some of you are probably going to wonder about the abrupt jump skip that happened. That is why, is because I was looking on Twitter to give you guys the actual thing that they were using. But, there were basically 4 key points that I had talked about or heard from having to refresh because Periscope was deciding to derp, and it was happening to a lot of people where to keep up we had to refresh every time we ended up with a black screen. But first and foremost, the thing that they were showing on on their page itself when they were advertising the PAX panel, and even on their Twitch page, their Twitch page, that's what's coming within the anniversary year drops this year. It is a Dex Sandana. A lot of people were thinking it could be a skin, it could be a freaking Sentinel armor. I personally thought that it was going to be an armor set, which me along with everybody else that thought armor weren't exactly wrong, because it is still a cosmetic item. It's just not a full armor set like we thought. It's a Sandana. Right about now, I'll have the image up for you guys to see. And for some reason, I just heard a Grenier screaming like a capture target. And, okay, it's been a while since I've used my Dex Furus, and I don't remember ever noticing it before. It's possible that they changed it when they did the Dex Savaris, but the muzzle flashes for these are also the Lotus symbol. It's just a lot quicker because I have an insane rate of fire. Anyway, that aside, by now you guys would have seen the image as well. One of the other things, I'm still not 100% sure as to how far out the Warframe is, but we have a confirmed name for her now. The Warframe is going to be called Octavia. And whenever names were going about in whatever whichever dev stream chat it was, and then like the aftermath that was getting spewed all over Twitter and whatnot, there were quite a few good names that were being mentioned. So, I'm actually glad to see that one of the better ones that was also rather feminine got picked. Because there were a lot of decent ones, but some of them just seemed a little more masculine than they actually needed to be. And then because it was actually answered via a trivia question during the panel, but they threw up basically 3 joke choices that you knew for a fact weren't the answer, and then they threw the other one, or threw the real one just to make it blatantly obvious, as opposed to throwing up like a bunch of the names that were being tossed around, because then it would have been easy to confuse pretty much anybody. Really. So, but there's nothing about that. And then they had talked about how they're starting to look into voice acting and certain actions for Orkin, which I guess has been an idea in the works for a while, and they're finally getting around to it. More so because I guess they're going to try to tie it in with the Kingpin system that they're going to bring out, which would kind of make sense. But one of the other things that they showed with that is a new melee weapon that I don't know if it's going to use a new grip type or an existing grip type or even what class, but it's going to be some sort of fan. And right about now I'll throw the image up for you, and I apologize for the shitty quality. Like I said, they were doing Periscope, which does not go as easily, so they couldn't handle, they weren't able to put up artwork and whatnot the way that they do during their Twitch streams. So when I did my snipping tool capture of it, like I do for every other image that I tend to use, I couldn't get a 100% clear image. So you guys will have to make do with what you can. You can still make out the shape and everything. It just might be a little bit blurry.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
And then the last thing that they showed at the very end that we have all eagerly been awaiting, that is at this point 3 months, give or take a few days behind. The Valkyr Prime Access trailer is finally live on YouTube, and I will be putting a link in the description box below for all of you, because it's also revealing some very interesting spoilers, and I'm not going into those. But if you guys like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Click the bell icon right next to it in order to stay up to date with any future videos. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description box below. If you would like to support this channel and its endeavors, check out my Patreon page, link also in the description box below. And if you want to connect, and if you want another way to connect with me, check out my player.me referral link. It is a social media site for gamers, by gamers, link also in the description box below. Until next time, Tenno, stick to the shadows.